Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh, I feel like I'm one of these people. What do they call it? The main pretenders, or I never feel like I'm actually up to the job, to be honest.
I think definitely the most vulnerable I've ever been was the fact that I was going to create an entire company and account around my mental health past.
Vulnerability has been an interesting journey for me. I think a moment that really stands out to me when it comes to feeling vulnerable was the first time that I chose to share my story publicly. Um, it had been something I'd been wanting to do for a while, but there was so much fear and concern around other people's opinions and whether they were going to think of me differently.
I remember one time on an Air New Zealand flight, I was absolutely at the bottom of the rung with how I felt. I just bust up with a girl. This was like, I don't know, 40 years ago, over. And I was sitting on a plane, and the guy recognised me from the show, and he sat down. Who was actually a cabin attendant at the time, and he sat down and he said, "Mark, you okay?" And so I said, actually no.
I always feel like somebody else will be better, and I can't ever believe that anybody would ever listen to me.
And so finally finding the courage with a lot of support to share. I will always remember that morning. I was like sweating, I was overwhelmed. And I guess I learned through that process, and it's something I, continue to preach, is that shame cannot survive vulnerability. The more you speak, the less that shame becomes. And it also opens spaces for other people to be vulnerable too, which I think is really powerful.
Which means if I base this, company or this venture around this thing, every time I explain what I'm doing or what it's about, I'm going to be telling them about my mental health history. So, and I didn't really understand the weight of that until I did it.
I think whenever you put yourself out there, it's hard, because you know you're going to be criticised.
So I had a conversation about what had just happened to me with a cabin attendant on Air New Zealand. And that was about a man understanding that there was something going on. Maybe just if he talked to me, just spoke to me, that would actually open up a channel, and it did. And I felt so much better being able to talk about it with a complete stranger.
So that's definitely the most vulnerable thing I've ever done, is the fact that I base this project around my mental health history. So it's like, okay, why are you supporting suicide prevention? Well, shoot, now I need to tell this person why, you know.
Yeah, it is hard because nobody likes rejection. Nobody likes to be told, well, that was a bit stupid, wasn't it? You didn't do very well there. Nobody likes that. But unless you put yourself out there, you don't get the good stuff as well. You get the bad stuff.
My advice to a young person would be to simply make the most of every moment you have here. I think I'm reminded time and time again how short life is.
I think it's quite popular within, especially young people, that they think they need to lock themselves down. You need to get that job, you need to get that mortgage, you need to do this, you need to do that. And then at the end of it, right, at the end of all that, then you can be happy. I'll be happy in 40 years when I have the house, have the boat, have the. It's like, no, 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 just send it, bro.
Have fun. And have fun in constructive ways so they're not hurting anybody else. But have fun and contribute, volunteer. Really helpful, because there's nothing like somebody saying to you, wow, thank you so much. And you feel like you've given them something. That is really, really good for your mental health.
Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Because there is always hope. Always.
We're so lucky to be here, and the world is your oyster. Go and grab it and run with it.
Just if you want to do that thing, do it. If you're worried about failing, good. Like, go fail. That's the point.
And just know that, because there's something that in you hasn't been discovered yet. And that's what you have to search for in your own self. And the way to do that is to have hope and not be afraid, and just be comfortable in who you are. You don't have to be anything other than what you are. Don't worry about what your mates are doing or anything like that. You know what, you have a moral compass as well. What is right and what is wrong. But it's about being unafraid to be who you are.
What you find really quickly is that you realize that everyone has a story, and it only takes one person in the room to be like, hey bro, this is what I've been through.
Because you're who you are. You're a very important person in your own makeup. Everyone is important. Everyone. No matter who they are.
Realise that you have value. You have mana, you're born with it. And other people matter just as much as you do. But if we can get together, like we said earlier, if we can get together, we can do anything.
Mental health matters.